Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right. You tuned into another episode of the Viewers Anonymous podcast, where we give you our very own reviews and takes of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. Before we get into the goodness of the podcast, please make sure you go follow us on all socials. You can hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at ViewerNonPod. You can follow us on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. You can also follow us on YouTube at YouTube Viewers Anonymous. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you want to become a viewer, join up on our Patreon at patreon.com/Viewers Anonymous. It's only $2.99 a month. And last but not least, if you are listening to this on anything outside of Spotify, do us a favor. Go to Spotify if you have the app. Search us up and hit the follow button. You would do us a great deal of help if you do so. And that's that. What's up, my brother?
I can't call it, man. Just honestly, man, glad to be back in the lab. Honestly, we had a really good conversation before we got started.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I'm telling you, boy, that's like if we had like a crew, you know what I mean? Like we'll have to pull like a fucking 100 gigs like Drake. And show people the behind the scenes
for sure.
Like,
we can't take it down either.
Hey, oh man, that'd be hard. I don't think people be understanding like some of the conversations we be having before we get started. So
right.
But yeah, though, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Just trying to figure out this thing called life, man. You know how I be. I'm on a constant journey.
Yeah.
But I'm straight though, man. How about you, man? How you feeling?
Man, let me tell you something. This week has been very it's been very fruitful. You know what I'm saying? I've been talking to a lot of people about, information and getting a lot of knowledge from people. Some things have come up, and some big things are definitely on the way. I cannot wait for them. We are working towards something magnificent, man. We 5 years in the podding, like, bro, everything is just falling into place. Everything going great, bro. I ain't got no complaints, man.
Well, for the new listeners,
yeah,
we 5 years on this pod.
For sure.
7 years in. You know
all together, yeah.
Just for the people who, be like, damn, hey man, that shit sound easy. But yeah, it took a while to get here.
Easy. Nah, it ain't easy. I tell you that right now. It ain't easy. When you got to do everything yourself, ain't nothing easy about it. You know what I'm saying? It's cool when you got a team. You know what I'm saying? Or when you get signed to a label. That's the easy part. You just got to show up and talk. When you got to do everything outside of that yourself, ain't nothing easy about it. But I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't do it no other way, bro.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And that's like, that goes back to the conversation we was having when you was talking about, your first pod, my first pod, and we were just talking about those SoundCloud days, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Back when we used to start, with the podcast was just on SoundCloud, and then you had to ask for approval to put your shit on Apple. Like,
absolutely,
they don't know nothing about that, man. They don't know nothing about that, man.
Or when you found your first hosting site, oh man,
yeah,
you felt like a king. You felt like a king, bro.
Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, man, it's been a lot of trial and tribulations, man. Absolutely. When it comes to this whole podding thing, man. But I'm like you though, man. It's like I wouldn't trade it. A lot of the things that I've learned, what I'm saying, from either you or other dudes that we used to pod with and things like that. It's just like, it's been a journey, man. It's definitely been a journey, but it's something that, like I say, man, you gotta have that passion, you gotta have that love, because if you don't, and then you get in it and for the wrong reasons,
absolutely,
the shit. I honestly don't even think the shit even sound the same. Like when you listen to some of the people who get in it kind of for a check, you could tell it's like they ain't really in it. Like they just kind of doing this shit because they got a deal. And what I'm saying, they got obligations. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no obligations.
Nah.
So
Not at all.
yeah, we're doing this shit for
However,
the love.
if y'all want to send us some obligations, we'd be more than obliged to do so. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I
hell yeah.
will say that though, yeah, ain't no harm in having obligations. However, if you do have obligations, yo, just still have that passion for it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Still have that passion, man. Um, Today is an exciting day. It's a very exciting day. We are talking about one of the greatest. Well, let me slow down. We're talking about one of the best TV shows because I don't know how this going. You know what I'm saying? How it's gonna work out? Because usually when we get to calling shit the greatest, they hear it and they be like, "Let's cancel this motherfucker now." So let's ease up. I'm gonna ease up. One of the best TV shows to hit the screens in a pretty long time, man. You can find this show on Paramount, and I believe it's a Paramount. It is a Paramount original.
Yeah.
Initially released in 2003, this show stars Zoe
23.
Saldana. 2023. Thank you. I don't know why I do that. Because I think a couple episodes back, I said something like 2004. You was like, you mean 2020?
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm stuck in the early 2000s, man. Is you could blame Young Joe and Young LA. Uh, and if you old enough to get that, salute. But this show stars Zoe Saldana. Um, it stars Nicole Kidman. It stars Michael Kelly, Morgan Freeman, um, and a host of other people, not as well known, but this show is The Lioness, and it is amazing. It is about a CIA operative who is a part of a very special unit of the government who basically is unknown to pretty much everybody. And they are running things behind the scenes, and they are really running things, like literally running things. Um, First and foremost, I gotta say this. S. Dot has told me for a long time. Yo,
2023.
yeah, yeah. He told me for a very long time, bro, you gotta watch this show. This show is amazing. This show is good. And I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. And he kept asking me, you watch Lioness yet? I said, nah, not yet. You watch Lioness yet? Nah, not yet. And eventually he just gave up. So so one day, man, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it was the movie guides was just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? He been trying to tell you, you ain't been taking no initiative. We got to throw it in your face. I get a free month of Paramount television on the app. And I'm like, all right, cool. I got it through my Xbox. So first and foremost, the first thing I went to was Mary Kingstown. Because I've been hearing so many great things about Mary Kingstown. Now, by this time, I wasn't even thinking about Lioness. But I get done watching Mary Kingstown, the first season, Lioness pops up. It don't tell me that it's popping up or nothing. It just play that joint. Going to the next episode. Next thing you know, I see Zoe Saldana, she doing her thing, and then I seen the girl get blown up by a missile. And I was like, what is this? I'm excited now, right? I'm in there because the CIA operative is spy stuff. I'm like, all right, yeah, this all right. The screen come up, boom, Lioness. I'm like, oh, this joint S that I was talking about. Man, when I tell you, bro, I started that joint, I want to say on a Thursday. I finished watching it Friday night. That's how glued in I was. I said, yeah, this is all right. I like this. I mess with this. Then I hear season 2 comes out. All right, cool. I'm with it. I can't wait. Season 2 comes out, and you know what I'm saying? I had to give S Dot his props. I said, man, you did it again. You brought us another one. Yo, you got this one. So I watched season 2. Season 2 is great. Where do we start on this joint, bro? Because I know we got to start in season 1.
Yeah, and I think that because first of all, I haven't seen season 1 since 2023. So
Right.
But I just think like just basically like a rundown of like what that season entails, just kind of like, you know, what what Joe is dealing with and all this type of shit. So I mean, like you said, man, she's basically with the CIA, special ops. She got her team. She only really like fucking with her team. And so she lost the like you said, girl blew up by a missile. So she lost her inside, you know what I'm saying, lioness.
Right.
And so she needed another one. And so then you start seeing the story of this girl, this Latino girl. She's getting, you know what I'm saying, pimped out, beat up by this guy and all this type stuff. End up just happen to just run into a fucking recruiting office.
A Marine recruiting officer.
Yeah. And
let's not leave that out.
A Marines, yes.
Yeah, that's totally different.
Yeah. So she runs in there, and so the Marine takes up for her because he read the situation immediately and told the dude to get out of there. So she's like, "Oh, my life already heading nowhere. I might as well, try to do something." So she comes up with a bright idea. When she gets in the thing, they got a female line and a male line.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hey, I want to go through the male line." They kind of, ain't no way you could do this type of thing. Next thing you know, this motherfucker finishes at the top.
Yeah, she turned into G.I. Jane.
Hey, boy, she went beyond G.I. Jane. Hey. G.I. Jane struggled. She didn't struggle. And so
she used to be a dancer too, so that's kind of cheating.
And she know how to take abuse. So
that part, but I'm saying, like, this is the thing. Dancers are very athletic.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you did this, but I did this.
Did what?
Did you ever take ballet?
Nah.
I took ballet. Well, I didn't. Okay, let me rephrase that. I didn't take ballet. I went to learn how to do the when they do well, you ain't took ballet, so you don't know. So they do a thing called a plie.
Okay.
And a plie is like when they like bend their knees a certain way or whatever. But when they jump, they land into a plie.
Okay, yeah.
Well, what I learned was if you do that when you jump, like if you jumping for the ball and you do that, it actually takes the stress off your knees.
Okay.
Yeah. So I learned how to like get my footwork and stuff from like ballet.
Oh, nah. What's up, man? Like learn something new every day.
Hey, yeah, man. Also help with girls for sure.
I'm sure it did. Full of them.
Yeah.
So she runs in there. She finished top of her class. She gets Joe's attention.
Yeah.
And so Joe come up to her, basically recruiter, and brought her in. And they was working on these people. Somewhere in the Middle East. Like I was about to say Afghanistan, but I can't remember. It was somewhere.
It was either Iraq or Afghanistan. One of them.
Yeah. So she wants to put her under, but she want to put her under because they figure, we always go straight for the guy. We always try to get somebody close to the guy. That was like, we don't know if we could do that. Let's try to do a different approach. Let's get her close to the dude's fiance because they haven't got married yet. At least I don't think. And so,
daughter.
Oh, it was the daughter. No, that's the second one. The second one was the daughter. The first one was the daughter too.
The first one was the daughter.
So who was she marrying then?
The dude that she was marrying worked for the dude's dad.
Oh,
remember in the kitchen. Remember the kitchen scene? That was her dad.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I'm not going to run the whole thing down, but I'm just trying to explain like how we even get Cruz into this shit.
Absolutely.
So Cruz ended up, going under. But like I said, this is her first time ever going under. She never really even done this type of work before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, end of the day, she get the job done. So, but is there anything else that you feel like that needs to be said about season 1?
Outside of the character development, just the storyline. The storyline is everything in season 1. Because what a lot of shows, especially when it's the first season, I think what a lot of shows try to do is they try to stuff everything into the episodes as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And with this show in particular, you kind of see like they don't necessarily like stuff everything in, right? So like I want to say like the first 2 episodes is kind of like about Cruz. You learn about Cruz and everything, boom, and then that third episode, it get right into Joe. And you know what I'm saying, you get to see Joe with the team and they actually getting in there and doing their thing. Well, you already see Joe from the beginning, but this one is actually starting to get into like who Joe is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like you see her come home to her family. So now you like, okay, this is a little bit different. You actually get to see her around her family and you get to see her with her daughters, with her husband, stuff like that. And you also get to see her interact in work and at home. So I thought that was something that definitely, needed to be in there. And we kind of seen how Cruz was with um her home life and then at work, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of get like both of those. And then you also get Cruz getting kind of like initiated into this new group. So she's been a Marine and everything. She already did what she had to do, but now she has to come into this new group and, you know what I'm saying, like get comfortable and familiar with them. And so like it kind of builds up multiple stories, but at the same time, it's like not too focused on the singular story. So I think they did a great job with the storytelling as far as that goes. And then I'm trying to think who else is in. Oh, Nicole Kidman and
With
Michael Kelly.
Michael
Caitlin
Kelly. Michael Kelly's he's going up my
killing
list, bro.
shit. He killing shit,
He's
bro.
going up my list, bro. He's been killing it as of late.
Yeah. But it goes into Caitlin and Byron, right? And
Mhm.
then it kind of gives you glimpses of who they are, the connections that they have, what they do. Later on in the season, it goes kind of into Caitlin's life with her husband and what her husband does and everything else. Like, so it does a great job setting up the character development. It does a great job setting up the story. Um, by the end of season one, you have no confusion whatsoever.
Yeah.
There's no confusion whatsoever. That's what I look at like, yo, this is premium storytelling. It ain't nothing where you going back and you like, well, what about you? It's none of that. It's everything about this is to the point. It's gonna show you what it needs to show you, and whatever it shows you is going to attach itself to something on, something later on. So, just pretty much just the storytelling of season one, I think is really the biggest thing that uh needs to be paid attention to as far as that goes. Because what it did for season two was it already set a precedent of we know the team, we know certain players around the team, and we know the circumstances and the work that the team does, right? And like what they have to go through to get things done and all that stuff. So now, and when you get to season two, you have a sort of an expectation. And I think that they did a great job of kind of, making sure that that expectation was met in season two.
I think they did. And you what you brought up was a very great point on the character development.
Yeah,
And I think that also, like, when you speak on Joe, the character development of seeing her with her team, seeing her with her family, and then having the family things that are happening,
absolutely.
because you starting to see the wedge between her and her husband, and then you see the whole thing of the daughter, her oldest daughter, being old enough to hang out with friends, boyfriends, all types of little shit like that. Daughter ended up getting into a car accident where she lost a friend. And now Joe has to sit back and deal with the fact that my daughter is in the hospital. Not only is she in the hospital, she's hurt. Not only is she's hurt in the hospital, but she finds out in the hospital that she lost a friend. And that motherly stuff that, with her job supposed to be around, and what I'm saying, she has the guilt of not being around, but also she's getting guilt tripped by her husband, by, it's always this whole thing of her husband feeling like, yo, you picking your job over your
Absolutely.
family. But what she's doing is she's picking democracy. She's picking America. Well, you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, America, yeah.
Over, you know what I'm saying, over that. And her family is included in that because she feels that the work that she's doing is so important that there is a trickle down effect the way it could affect her family personally.
Absolutely.
So she feels that is the thing that she needs to do. So I think seeing that balance and dealing with not being home in a situation of crisis when it comes to your daughter, because it's like when there's crisis with your team, you're there, but when there's crisis with your daughter, you're not there. And so now you're kind of, and one thing that they don't do in this show, which is kind of, it really is kind of surprising that we haven't seen or heard anything about therapy in this show, which is kind of surprising
That's
that we haven't at least heard it.
Damn, that's a great point.
Because Joe is going through some shit, bro. Like, I can't imagine just that situation that I mentioned earlier. Like, you're out of the country and then you find out that your daughter got into a car accident, she's hurt badly, and she found out in the hospital that a friend died. It's
well,
like
you missing the point on that too. Remember, not only did she have to go through the trauma of going through the accident, not only did she have to go through the trauma of losing a friend, but remember, she was pregnant too.
that's right. She was pregnant.
She was pregnant.
I forgot about that. You're
and
right.
so now,
Because she lost the baby.
right. Well, it was, yeah, because it was between her life or the baby's life, and having to, and this is what I did like about the show, right? This show is more about Joe than anything else.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And even though like we get a glimpse in the cruise in season 2, we get a glimpse into what's her name?
Josephine.
Joseph. No, is that her? Yeah, damn, it is Josephina.
Yeah, Josephina.
Okay, so yeah, we get a glimpse into Josephina's life and all that too, right? But really, this is about Joe being the head of this unit and also having to juggle her work life and her family life at the same time. And her family life is, in a sense, kind of falling apart and going through these changes. Her daughter's getting older. She's not really at home like she could be, and to be able to guide her daughters and stuff like that. But at the same time, on this end, it's like, yo, she is making sure that shit is running the way it's supposed to be running in order for her daughter to even have the freedom to do, you know what I'm saying? Like to the freedom to be able to ride in a car with her friends and go to high school and do all these certain things. And so like, I like the fact that they put that struggle there, because it's like you don't really understand what some of these people go through when they're like quote unquote like black ops, or when they're quote unquote like spec ops, or you know what I'm saying, they red noticed, or they unnamed, you know what I'm saying, like they redacted. Yeah, like because it's because truthfully, right, like those type of people usually don't have families. Those type of people usually don't have like a mom to go back home to. Those are people that just usually like it's just them. They don't have wives and they don't have husbands and they don't have really anything, because that shit could be a detriment to whatever you're doing at work. You know what I'm saying? If anybody that you're opposed against finds this out, then you know what I'm saying, like they could wipe everything. Yeah, so it's like a danger. So the fact that she even has a family, the fact that she's even going through this, you know what I'm saying, like even with her husband, like she's telling her husband, like, yo, like you really don't understand. Like I want to talk to you about so much of these things, but I'm not even allowed to talk about some of this shit. Well, most of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's stuff that I can't even utter. Like it's you know what I'm saying? Like we seen it in season 2, how
she had a sneak peek. In season 2.
Yeah, she was struggling with the fact of they went to go do a op, and come to find out the op wasn't what they thought it was. It ended up being some stuff where they come across like child trafficking. And her having 2 daughters, she like, yo, she can't live with that shit. So that shit is like eating at her. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. So I think that is dope that we get a chance to kind of see the actual internal struggle be put on display. Because usually we'll see like the internal struggle where it's like they're facing it and they kind of going through it and they dealing with it themselves. But this is one of those things where they're not dealing with it themselves. They actually, you know what I'm saying? Like it's manifesting physically through everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's manifesting physically because our marriage is kind of falling apart. And then they kind of, they kind of separated. And then something happens like the car accident that kind of brings them a little bit closer together. And then season 2 pops up and then it's like they back to splitting up. You know what I'm saying? And all of these, it's all of these dynamics that's being put in there and they are placed very well, by the way. Because in season 2, we get a totally different dynamic that we would never see. Like you bring in season 1, you bring Cruz in, and Cruz falls in love with the Mark at the time. She never thought that she would, but the Mark treats her different. She treats her like she exists and all these other things. So she ends up falling in love with her. She wants to save her, but she can't because the target that they ended up going after ended up being her dad, ended up being her husband, and all these other things. So it's like to be able to put all of those things in there and to be able to play them out as well as they did, like, man, that shit was great, man. It was great. Great television.
Very, very great television. And like I felt like shows like this, like it really, and this is another one. And I'm telling you, this is my last time I'm gonna say it. Jack Ryan, man, I'm telling you, I know you see him as who you see him as.
He is Jim Halpert.
But I'm telling you, man, this shit is very similar.
I'm gonna watch it, but I'm telling you, bro, as Jim Halpert.
It's very similar, dude. It's very similar. And Jack Ryan is really, really good. Yeah. And this show gives me a lot of those vibes. But I mean, like, the whole thing of
with the Thor looking dude, Jack Reacher.
Reacher. Yeah. Just Reacher. Yeah.
Catch up on that too. Reacher. Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like season 2 was you know what I mean? Like season one was dope as fuck, but like season 2 is to me,
great.
To me, it was, you know what I'm saying? It was a little mid, but
I mean, like anytime you get like a buff dude that look like that, like, come on, man.
Yeah, and I didn't know. Did you know he's the dude from Super 8? The sci-fi movie Super 8.
I know what Super 8 is. I'm saying, like, hold on, wait. Yeah, Super 8 is the movie that was based in Ohio, right? In Dayton.
I don't remember that. I just remember like it was a sci-fi type of movie joint. And he was in it, and he was like, I don't know, like 14 or 15 or some shit like that.
Hold on.
He was in that movie. The big buff dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I'm trying to think it was Super. I feel like Super 8 is the Alien movie, right?
Yeah, it is an Alien movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay. So for those who don't know, Super 8 is based in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
You know that?
I didn't know that.
Okay. Now the reason that it's based in Dayton, Ohio is because of Wright Pat Air Force Base.
Mm-hmm.
So the neighborhood that they live in is supposed to be Wright Pat Air Force Base.
Got you.
Yeah, that's why the aliens and all that shit. But I had no idea though. You say he like 14 or 15.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
How old is he in real life?
I don't know, man.
That's
no, but that's the thing. I don't think he's that old. Like I think he's only like 25 or some shit. Like,
no, respect. I'm not saying he old. I'm saying like how old is he? Because like that's a hell of it. Like if he was 14, he didn't look like that at 14 and 15. Yeah, that's why I said Thor. Like this nigga looked like Chris Hemsworth. That's what I'm saying. This nigga like G2. You know what I'm saying? Like or Men's Health Monthly. Like he's stacked.
Oh my god,
he's stacked, bro. Like the gym hate to see him coming, bro. Yeah, he's a linebacker for sure.
Oh man, that is fucking hilarious.
He's a Mike linebacker at that.
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Zach comments about this piece.
Nigga, Luke Kuechly. He's a fucking killer, bro. Like if he was on the Panthers right now, easy 106 tackles on the season without question.
That is hilarious. 106. Not 110, 106.
106.
But no, like I was just saying it's similar to that, but like this has more of a this is more family oriented though. Mm-hmm. This is way more family oriented. And
well, I don't know about family oriented. You mean like the story?
Well, I mean it more of like really just Joe. I mean like Joe, like because like in Jack Ryan, like he don't have like a family.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like he ended up dating a girl like later on in the show, but like he's there's no family type of stuff, no girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like usually that's how these shows are set up to where they're like he don't have no family. His mom and dad died when he was 3. He was taken into an orphanage, and in the orphanage, you know what I'm saying, the man in the orphanage was an ex-Marine, and he taught him these values. So he grew up to be a Marine, and he went to the Marines, and then he was the greatest Marine ever. And then, you know what I'm saying, he did like 2,000 push-ups and ended up in this program where he was spec ops, and like he got the greatest stealth and all that shit. Like that's how it usually ends up. It don't never end up as like this chick who's married and like basically she's the aggressor in the relationship.
That is hilarious. I like that whole story you just put together there.
I mean, technically that's how it panned out.
But
because that's what Joe technically is.
True.
Joe is the Marine who did like 2,000 push-ups. She ended up in this what's her name. She got the best stuff. Because like in this
that's why I think she took a liking to Cruz so much.
She's seen herself.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you because like if you watch Joe in this, like at first, because they don't really show her in action at first, but like it's points in this thing where she like, hey. Y'all forgot who y'all messing with.
Y'all messing with Colombiana, man.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. Listen, she don't play no game. Joe ain't having that shit. In season 2, where she was yelling at her, and then old girl when Josephina got in her face and like she hemmed her up, and then old dude was like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "I don't want to hear none of that shit. I'm the top officer everywhere I go in this bitch. You hear me? Where your office at?"
What's that?
He said, "What you mean? Why you need my office? Because it's my office now."
It's my office now. Yes, that was the best fucking yo. That was to me. I'm sorry. That was the best scene in this whole fucking shit. But
they said on Twitter that was her Denzel Training Day moment.
Exactly. I agree. Exactly. Yo, did you see? I mean, I'm pretty sure the stories are out now, but you do know that was all improv, like. That whole fucking so all right. So I'm sitting here watching. I think it was Anquan Kufai. I know how to say his name. Yeah. So he's talking. He's on this podcast or whatever.
Training Day.
Yeah. He was he was like, man. He said so. He's like, so basically, all he really just had like written down was just like, all right, Jake comes and then everybody block him off and Jake leaves. So he's like, so Denzel just Denzel'd it. And he was like, and then greatness just came out. And it's the next thing you know, King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Hey, let me tell you, to know that one of the greatest monologues in film history was improvised. Hey, he was already up there, but like, bro. That just further solidifies his legacy. Because like to be able to do that shit on the spot, like just off the top of the dome, you freestyling that is crazy.
Yo, I'm telling you, but he was Lonzo for real. But and then what makes it so great though?
People have used that though. Like that shit been used so that like that's like a part of pop culture.
Oh, for sure.
That's crazy.
But when doing what we do, all right, like you tend to notice, the small things.
Right.
And like for me, a lot of the times, the small things would be the stuff to me that takes like a scene like over the top for me.
Yeah.
And like it'd be little stuff like, so he's sitting there saying, you know what I'm saying? He's talking to the dudes. He's like, man, who the fuck y'all think y'all messing with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here. Jake. He'll just scream out Jake just in the middle of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just little shit like that. Just for him to scream out Jake in the middle of a fucking monologue, and he'll just scream out Jake's name. Like,
that's crazy.
Like just little shit like that to me, what really took like that whole scene like over the top. But anyway, so we'll get back to the shit.
I feel like that's how I want to feel. Hey man, listen, if Zoe Saldana did the same thing, I wouldn't be surprised because that's what it felt like. Like when she was going back and forth with her, they had that little tussle. When dude comes to break it up, when she goes, "Where's your office at?" and he goes, "Why?" Because it's my office now. Like I feel like that was her. Like yeah. I want to feel like that was her.
That shit was so hard. Now Josephina was Genesis Rodriguez. Yeah. She gave her a run for her money in that scene, but Zoe just fucking just like that. That I'm just saying she gave her a run for her money. I didn't say
in the beginning, yes, because when she got off and she went up there and she started going off and all that, yeah, cool. When Zoe got in her bag. And they, you know how to in the scene they got the camera like panning around her while she talking and she backing up and like talking and yelling and shit. When that happens, and that little boo, the little score go boo while she talking, nah. It shows you her years of experience in that scene.
It also shows you why she's the only actor, period, in the world that have 4 fucking $1 billion movies.
Absolutely.
That right there.
When she yells at them and says, "I am the commanding officer wherever I go." Hey, bro. Let your nuts hang, Zoe. Let your nuts hang, Zoe. Cause nigga, that's a line to deliver.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw her in Drumline, I did not see this career. We're gonna get more on that. I can't because we got another episode that's coming.
When I saw her in what's the one with her and Ashton Kutcher and Bernie Mac?
When she brought Ashton Kutcher home to meet her dad.
When I saw that, yeah, I was like, I don't care what she does for the rest of her life. I'm in love. I am in love. Zoe Saldana is my Hollywood crush. Like,
did you see that? Did you see that naked picture she put out the other day? Okay,
come on, man.
I'm just saying, y'all. She got you know she showed a little something. She showed a little something the other day.
Let me tell you something, bro. Her, Nia Long, Regina Hall, Regina King. I'm missing somebody. Vanessa Calloway.
Okay.
What's the other Vanessa?
Vanessa Williams.
No.
Oh no, that's the dark skinned lady.
50 Cent's Vanessa.
50 Cent Vanessa.
Vivian, not Vanessa, Vivian.
Vivica A. Fox.
Vivica, damn. Why couldn't I think of her name? Vivica A. Fox. Gabrielle Union, like all them when they was doing their thing, hey, untouchable to this day. Okay, they still look primo. Gabrielle Union and Tuka play that game. I mean, not Gabrielle Union. Vivica A. Fox and Tuka play that game.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man! What? Gabrielle Union when she was in the fake Stump the Yard with the cheerleaders.
Oh man, don't do
Bring
that,
man.
On. Bring it on, man.
Oh,
Low key.
Man.
That's one of my joints. Low key,
don't tell
nobody.
Fire. Fire. When they walked up to them when they was trying to imitate them on the cheer. Hey, look, speaking of
Bird, goddamn, it's cold in here.
I'll tell you why I love Bring It On. First off, my cousin was a cheerleader. Okay. And I spent the night at their house a lot. Because those, I told you I grew up with a bunch of older cousins. So like they was like the closest to my age. But like her and her friend, they were on the cheer squad and the cheer team. When I tell you they would watch that movie like back to back to back to back, I wanted to play PlayStation. NBA Live 2000, 2001, all that shit, right? On PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, all that stuff. Couldn't play it because they was watching Bring It On. And unfortunately, I would get jumped and none of my cousins helped me. So I was forced to watch Bring It On for a very long time. And I want to thank both of them for jumping me because I fell in love with also Gabrielle Union, who is an amazing actress. You know what I'm saying? And Zoe Saldana, man, let me tell you something about her. When I tell you, when I seen her in that movie, and I was looking at her with Ashton Kutcher, and I said, you know what? In real life, nah, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work at all. I seen her with her real husband in real life, and I said, nah, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So, you know what I'm saying? Zoe Saldana, if you out there listening, I'm calling you out personally, okay? Whenever you want to come home,
I knew you were gonna say that.
you know where home is. Just got to get that out there because you deserve a good home. You know what I'm saying? Bring your kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good stepdad. My kids grown, so they got.
They fucking grown.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing but love for you, baby. Like Heavy D, you feel me?
Oh man.
But no, nah. Zoe Saldana, man. Like when I tell you, bro, like I know because lately she's been getting a lot of flack for some of the roles she's been taking.
Why that damn one movie is nominated for an Oscar? That was it Emma Perez or what?
Yeah,
Emily Perez. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I see it's on Netflix.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know who Amelia Perez is.
I don't either, but
I know she did Nina Simone, and they gave her hell for it.
Well, yeah, and I remember like some people were saying that because Nina Simone was like she was darker than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And they was like, so I know like that was one of the first when I first heard that she did it, and like they was talking about it on some pod or radio show I was listening to, and they were just saying like, yo, like Nina Simone was like really, really big in her darkness, and they were like, she is not dark. And like
see, that's the thing, because I want to know like what was the casting behind that? Like who else did they go talk to figure this out? Because like if they went to a couple people to go figure this out and they was like, nah, I don't want to do it. And then Zoe Saldana was like, shit, yeah, I do it. I'm a big Nina Simone fan. Then you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, and then honestly, sometimes it's not always about the look, because sometimes you can go look and the acting ain't there.
And sometimes the makeup team just don't be it.
Yeah, this is true. This is true as well.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm not gonna lie, what made me watch All Eyes on Me was just how much Demetrius Shipp looked like Tupac.
That's what I'm saying.
He looked just like that. I'm like, you know what? Let me watch this.
No, for sure. Like he looked like Tupac's son for sure. But the reason I say that is because we did Tropic Thunder, and in Tropic Thunder, you got Robert Downey Jr. Doing a version of blackface. And the funny part is that like nobody said shit about that.
This is true.
And even if you try to bring it up to this day, like black people be like, nah, fam, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, leave him be. Because I think that at the same time of doing this, like it's different when you got a black person doing it, right? Because like they quote unquote supposed to know better. But her being like Afro-Latina is kind of a little different. So, you know what I'm saying? Like people still get like the feeling behind it. But with Robert Downey Jr., like that's one of those things where you for sure was supposed to look at it and be like, yo, he ain't supposed to do that. But I didn't feel like he did anything like negative while he was in it. So that kind of gave him like some leeway.
Yeah, and we talked about it when we did the movie. Like, it was like Robert Downey Jr., like the way that he played it, it was just like I think if and I'll say it again, if they had a black person to do it, it wouldn't have been what it was.
No, not
I
you.
think that was the whole purpose of it.
Not at all. Not at all.
Like even if you take
it wouldn't have made because the scene with him and Brandon T. Jackson, right? Where Brandon T. Jackson is sitting back there and he like, something, what do you mean, you people? And then Brandon T. Jackson goes, what do you mean?
You people.
You know what I'm saying? And then when him and Brandon T. Jackson was going or whatever, yeah, he was like, he told Brandon T. Jackson, he said, hey man, moving on up to that deluxe apartment in the sky. And that nigga said, man, that's the
Jeffersons.
Yeah, he said, that's the Jeffersons. He said, that don't make it not true. Hey, bro. Like,
oh man,
that's what I'm saying. Like those type of things, like when I feel like it could be done properly, it could be done right. And to me, it never felt like I think it was more so the fact like he kept reiterating, like, you know what I'm saying, like I'm an actor. Like, because when we first see him like who he is. Like he doing the movie with the nigga from Spider-Man. They was like
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, they're gay monks. I thought that shit was to enter a movie like that is a wild, right? So that's how you first see him, and then when you see him again, like this nigga is like a nigga from the 70s, like
yeah, hilarious.
Crazy. But anyway, to see her have to go through that, like, because she, like I said, she got a lot of flack for it. So to see her go through that, and then to see her turn back around, and then do something like this. And end up pretty much getting like she's been getting flowers for this because like she's been holding this shit down, and so like she's pretty much just been like putting on a showcase as far as just acting goes, bro. And I think like this is one of those things where everything else just kind of don't matter. It's just one of those like what have you done for me lately scenarios, and like this right here, like she has put on for sure. Like she's killed everything about this role.
That she definitely did, and like we spoke, that's how we got here. But like, yeah, that scene was super powerful. But then at the same time, we also have to mention the reason why Josephina was flipping out the way she was, because Joe, and another reason why Joe, I think that's why we got show wise. I think that's why she had the emotion that she had, because Josephine was thrusted on her. She didn't want, like, she's like, I always pick my ops. Mm-hmm. And so, because she had a meeting, and so they in this meeting, they're telling her, we need, you to bring this girl in because the target is going to be her father. And so they basically are going to try to flip her against her own family. Mm-hmm. And so there are so many emotions, because you got this girl who don't know anything about being a lioness, and they want her to be a lioness. And then you're telling the person who like to pick her own ops that you have to bring her in and you got to coach her. And then she comes up with the great idea of like, yo, Cruz did a phenomenal job. I'm gonna bring Cruz back.
Right.
And so that's where another way that you get to tie in of the first season, because then you get the whole shit of like, look, apparently Cruz is just a magnet for bad bitches, because
not for nothing, Cruz.
Hey, you know I'm like, yo, but Cruz is, first of all, she done turned. Now, I don't know if the girl was already that way or what, but she was getting married. Now, they could, but it was an arranged marriage too. So,
hey man,
maybe maybe she liked girls from the drip.
Matter of fact, wait, we got to give her flowers, because what is this woman's name? Stephanie Nur, whatever she is. Hey, ma'am. Goodness gracious. First off, you got Zoe Saldana already. You know what I'm saying? Bing bong boom, boom boom bop bam. Then you got Lasla D. Oliveira, you know what I'm saying, playing Cruz. Another one. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And then you bring in Stephanie Nur. I mean, just everything about these women is fine. Nicole Kidman. How old is Nicole Kidman? Goddamn 60 something, almost 50 something.
Nicole Kidman was born in 67, so that's gonna make
She done 50.
her. Yeah.
Hey, man, Nicole Kidman's still cold.
Hey,
You know what I'm
let's
saying?
not forget about Jill Wagner. Even though they made her look like
no.
a,
Not for nothing though.
hey,
She still was all right.
Yeah. I don't care if the haircut was short.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cut don't really do nothing. The cut ain't really changed nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was some lookers in this motherfucker for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. So so Cruz come in, and I bring that up because Cruz and Josephina ended up, you know what I mean, linking up. So but this, I felt like this operation was, and that's another thing, that season 1 was really good. The reason why I would give season 2 a little bit more, because for number one, there was more adversity in this one.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Joe got injured in this one, and you know what I'm saying, that type shit. But the storylines, like there was because see, I'm a person, I love storylines on top of storylines.
Right.
There was a bunch of storylines on top of storylines, because you also have a situation where, so you got Joe, you know what I'm saying, you still got the Joe on her family side. Then Joe getting injured, and you know, we didn't even mention Joe's husband is a surgeon. So, you know, when the whole shit went down with him, you know, it's a little different because he actually knows what's going on. He knows the medical risks and all this type of shit.
Right.
But then you got the whole thing of, you got Josephina, who is working for the American government, trying to prove her allegiance to America, and they're like, "Yo, we don't really make you prove your allegiance, because your father, well, we really want your father brother. That's who we really want. But we need your father to, we need you to basically convince your father to give up his brother."
Yo, to be in the U.S. government as a member, well, not a member, but a member of a family who is basically the cartel, is to write that is crazy.
Yeah.
And this is what I want to do real quick. I want to give Taylor Sheridan his props.
Yeah.
I really do. Because he has, real quick, we got to go through this. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shows. No, I'm sorry, 7, 8. He has 8 shows, or had 8 shows. Some of them have stopped, but basically on Paramount.
Yeah, so obviously he got a deal there. But dude, have you watched Landman yet?
Landman is crazy.
Yo.
Landman, Tulsa King, Mayor of Kingstown, The Last Cowboy, 1883.
Dude, he's doing Yellowstone,
Lioness, 1923.
He did. I didn't know he did Without Remorse. He did the screenplay. He wrote the screenplay for Without Remorse.
Bro, this nigga is Dick Wolf 2.0.
Yeah, I don't know, but Dick Wolf. Hey, Dick Wolf got some. Hey, this motherfucker. I'm just saying. Yeah, Dick Wolf been doing this shit for centuries, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I feel like Taylor Sheridan is like the next.
The
only other person that can rival Dick Wolf is what's her name? Damn, what's that lady's name, bro? And I'm blanking right now. She did Grey's Anatomy, Scandal.
Oh, Shonda Rhimes.
Shonda Rhimes, bro. Taylor Sheridan is up there with them, bro.
Okay.
Like, nigga, Grey's Anatomy is still on TV.
Yeah, season like 28 or some shit.
Nigga, I don't even count the seasons no more. I just count them by years at this point. Like,
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy is still rolling. Scandal was a cultural phenomenon. Like, she got a Netflix deal. Bridgerton is one of the hottest shows ever on Netflix. Like, Shonda Rhimes has made her mark in television. Dick Wolf, I mean, there's no need to even talk about that. The oh my god, what is the guy's name? He did hold on real quick. I gotta look this up. Because he was also one of the ones that hold on.
I'm trying to think of you would even be thinking about right now.
Norman Abbott and where's this guy's name, man? Where's this guy's name? Hold on. Norman Abbott, Ted Bergman is one of them as well. Is it Les? Norman Lear.
Norman Lear.
Yes, Norman Lear was responsible for a bunch of television shows in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
He was responsible for like the Jeffersons, All in the Family. I want to say like Mama's House, Sanford and Son. Like he had like joints in the 70s.
Okay.
Then you know what I'm saying, like you get like Dick Wolf, who I mean, that list is way too long to even talk about. But more importantly, Law and Order is the biggest one, right?
Yeah.
You get Shonda Rhimes, who got Grey's Anatomy, and then you got Taylor Sheridan, who had Mary of Kingstown, Tulsa King, and all these other things. Like I feel like Taylor Sheridan can go down in that. He can go down in that lane as like one of the greats as far as like creators, writers, all that stuff. Like yeah, like behind the scenes guys. I feel like he could be in that upper echelon of,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, background people of television and movies. Because like, bro, first off, Sicario, I don't know if you ever seen
Fire.
Sicario.
Yes,
Man,
the first one. What? Emily Blunt.
Come on, bro. Sicario was amazing, bro.
Dude, I literally just watched that movie like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I've seen it before. I'm just saying, I just
yeah.
watched it again because it's good.
It's that good.
Josh
Like,
Brolin, Josh Brolin, bro. Like, he's another one of those dudes, man.
Yeah, yep.
We don't really say his name that often, but that motherfucker, man.
I'm gonna tell you why Josh Brolin ain't as good as, or I'm not gonna say as good as, but he don't get the recognition he deserves because he allowed them to talk him into doing Jonah Hex.
Yeah, that didn't work out well.
Yeah. Jonah Hex is like on the same level as Green Lantern.
Yeah, but I mean, he came back playing Thanos.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
like now we talk about Josh Brolin like he the man. You know what I'm saying? The same way we talk about Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool.
Yeah, but I still think 2 movies should have got that Jonah Hex out of here.
What's
that is American Gangster and No Country for Old Men. We should have just been like, you know what?
No Country for Old Men for sure. American Gangster, I want to say yes, but only reason I say no is because I think that was more like centered around Denzel and Russell Crowe.
I mean, it was. It definitely was. It definitely was.
I think that's the only reason though, because No Country for Old Men for sure. Because when I tell you, like, nigga, that's one of the greatest movies of all time, without question.
Yeah, that movie is so fire.
Yeah, like there's no. That's one of those ones like when like years from now when we get like in our 80s and shit. That's one of the movies like if it come on TV, like yeah, we definitely watching this joint. That's like it was like a modern western damn near.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
But you're right. Taylor Sheridan, he definitely needed that little segment that we needed to speak on him.
For sure.
But you know, I think that this season, man, especially that final episode, man, that final episode where you see the realness in a show, where when Joe asked Josephina, "Do you still got your pistol?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Do it?" You know, basically, it got bullets in it. She was like, "Yeah." She said, "Save it for us," because like they was getting closed in on, and like you sitting there thinking, I'm thinking like, "Damn, man, this is the end of Lioness, man."
Yeah.
Like, like we're gonna end it like this with a whole team get wiped out. Like that scene was so real, man.
That's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of it all, bro. Because like first and foremost, ain't nobody getting wiped out. I think that was written in there just in case
That didn't get renewed.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Which once again, Taylor Sheridan, bro, you got to give the man his credit because he's smart. You know what I'm saying. I think he kind of knows. You know what I'm saying, how shit pans out. So I think that was written in there for that reason. But upon renewal, which I think definitely it should happen, season 3 is going to be one of them ones where they end up finding a way out like they always do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the ones where first and foremost we got to finish the story because Joe ain't even supposed to be out there.
Yes.
she's supposed to be on bed rest. She ain't even supposed to be out there. So it could be a situation where Joe, you know what I'm saying, she go down and out. Now maybe Cruz got to take over or
I don't think they would let Cruz take over though.
Shit,
Like,
why not?
Because first of all, you're skipping too many people. I mean, you're skipping Tucker, you're skipping Bobby, you're skipping 2 Cups.
I don't think Tucker is ready for that. Now I feel like from season 1 to this season, he did they did a great job on like maturing his character, but I don't think Tucker is ready for that. And I don't think that group is going to respect Tucker like they respect Bobby. Respect Joe. And I don't think if Bobby takes over that lane, like cause her skill set is too like necessary to, you know what I'm saying? Like Cruz is more like Joe than I think we realize.
True. But what do you think about Kyle though? Now Kyle isn't necessarily part of the team, but she's someone who she always consult with. And
Cal is too much of an outsider.
Yeah,
like they fuck with him. Like they fuck with him because of they got to, but like he's not like he ain't in like
like
he ain't in like that though. Cal is a great addition too. Like I like the fact that they got more into him in this too. I thought that was necessary because like now we starting to see him kind of like do his own thing, or maybe they switch it to where Cal now runs his own kind of like program. I think that'd be good too.
Yeah. True. Let me see. But then I'll tell you something else. They brought in Brian's family in this one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where Edwin came over to his house to have a conversation with him. And the way that they set it up, it made it seem like, you know what I'm saying? Because we seen the inside of Kathleen's house. And it's just her and her husband, no kids. They both of them just flat out career people.
But I will say this real quick though. They need to bring her husband back.
Yeah. I think
he was very crucial. He was very crucial.
I 100% agree. And I really like Brian, man.
Yeah.
And like the way that he just the way that he operate. Because the thing is there's a way about which now Caitlyn do the same thing. For her to be, you know what I'm saying, a 6'2" blonde, you know what I'm saying, to walk into a room and command that bitch.
Hey, with the ease, bro. With the
like
ease. And she don't play no games. She ain't with nobody shit.
Straight face every time.
Yeah, she's like, hey man, do you want this shit or not?
I don't even know if she smiles in this shit.
Never.
Like it's always a straight face. Like she's
Yeah.
always standing on business every time.
Yeah.
And I think that both of them are really like two in the same. And I think that they bounce well off of each other. And I think that them two and Joe together, even though Joe's the only one that goes into the field, you know, even that whole conversation when Caitlyn came to talk to her when she was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And she asked her, you know, how what's her husband name? It's like, how's Neil?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you could just tell, like, just that interaction of like Neil ain't gonna be cool with this. Like when she made the decision to go back in, like she was telling her, you know, straighten the shit out with Neil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that right there shows you that like they're more than a team, like they're family. And even Joe's team, like you got the corporate team and you got the corporate team and you got the field team.
Right.
And it's like all of them are kind of family oriented. And
Absolutely.
I also like the fact that when it comes to Bobby, you know what I'm saying, they brought her ex in and these motherfuckers argued the whole damn time.
That was good. That was good for that. I mean, that was good for the season to get that like comedy aspect to it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
Because
it was a lot of heavy stuff in this. Like the fact that Josephine had to deal with being in this unit who technically is there to take out her uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like even her having like to negotiate the whole situation with her dad. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that stuff happened where her and her dad get into it. Now they got to pretty much like step in and be like, you pretty much seem like you ain't ready for this. Like I thought that was one of those things too, where it was like, that was a twist for us. You know what I'm saying? Because when we seen Cruz was just strictly business. She didn't have nobody to kind of lean on or worry about. To bring Josephine in this, where we're adding her family into it, and now she's concerned for her dad, she's concerned for her mom. It's like, man, that just added another level to the story where we didn't expect that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not only did we not expect it, but we don't really necessarily, even the way it's written, we don't even necessarily know whose side Josephine is on. Because she could be on some stuff where it's like, I'm riding for my family, or nah, I'm really with this military shit and I don't want to be a part of what my family's doing. So like we still don't even know where she's at technically, because I think the way that they played it in season 2 was great by kind of putting that confusion in it, right? Like, you know, she had the situation with her dad, and the situation with her dad, she was talking or whatever, and she's trying to tell them, you know, she basically was trying to warn him, like, Dad, they know everything. And he like, who is they? And she like, Dad, they know she like, he like, who the fuck is they? So once she started breaking everything down, and you know what I'm saying, he started getting into his rage, they had to come in, step in, and you know, apprehend him and do all the other stuff. And now it's like they looking at her like, yo, are you really ready for this? Or is this one of those things where we might have to, you know what I'm saying, go excommunicado?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that was great for it too. And I also think like that'd be a great thing to go into with season 3.
That's interesting. Like I'm just wondering, like, where do they go?
Right.
Because the thing is, like, you know, you had the human trafficking shit in this. You had the drug part into this.
Damn, we didn't even talk about the other agent that popped up either, though.
Yeah, the one where they had to end up torturing him towards the end. You know what I'm saying? They had the, what they call it, water boat? Ain't that what they call that shit? When they put the
a water board.
Waterboard. What they had to do that to him.
Not a fun thing.
I don't want to experience it.
Real quick, Stupid shit I've done in my life. So,
Oh my god.
no, this is real shit. You know, you see shit in movies and you be like, man, that ain't real. That's shit stupid. That ain't how that work. Yeah. So we decided to like,
Oh my god.
we decided to try that shit before. Yeah, nah, that's not that's not something you wanna go through. Like
Nah, I don't.
the feeling of being drowned without being drowned. Like, yeah, the brain is a crazy thing. Let's just say that.
I can imagine.
Yeah, for sure. So like,
But you know what though? Since we're admitting shit, I tried one other. I tried one tactic
yeah,
that they would use. So I did mine is a whole lot. It's more psychological,
yeah, it's not as stupid.
but yeah. So I did the whole thing where the water drip on your forehead. And like you can't like wipe it or whatever, so it's just that drip. They try to say like psychologically, they kind of like drive you crazy. Like
Oh, that will
like I
fuck
kind
you
of
up.
like I had my hands like so I was like laying on my hands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my hands are kind of like tied behind my back, and I just let the water drip on my forehead. Yo, after about 5 drips, it's like nah, fuck this shit.
Because you don't because I think it's more so just the uncertainty of everything that kind of gets you in that mindset of like, bro, what if this shit just like start flooding? There's nothing I can do about this shit. Like I'll be fucked up.
But you also know like how like when you get like a certain age, like do you ever be like in a place where it's like let's say like your shirt is kind of like pulled and like you can
Mhm.
feel it and it's like you kind of trying to fix it, but like it keeps bothering you.
Mhm.
It's kind of like the whole thing of like the water dripping on your forehead, like it's
It's
even if a water like if it starts to rain, what's the first
yeah.
thing you're gonna do? You're gonna wipe that shit. And if you don't wipe it and it just sits there, it's just like, yo, like it starts to bother you. Like it's more of a psychological type thing. But like,
No, for sure. Okay, so all right, so I know what you're saying, but the water thing for me is a bad example. And the only reason I say that is because um growing up in Ohio, like the weather is like super unpredictable. So like, nigga, you'll be outside and it just start raining on you. There's nothing you can do about that shit. You either gotta like go home or you just gotta like face the facts, right? Quick story. We was playing basketball at a park, and the park is like right down the street from the house. We playing basketball from at the park. And I don't know if you ever witnessed this, but it's like I'm not gonna say a weird phenomenon, but they like it's not really even a phenomenon. It's just a thing that happens. So we at the park, and you know if you outside you could smell rain and all that, right? Well, you could smell the rain, you could hear the rain. And the way that the park is like it's a bunch of trees and then it's like a big opening. And when you go into the opening, it's a basketball court here, and then it's more trees, and it's another opening, and it's a whole park and all that stuff behind it. Well, we at the basketball court. We go look at the park, and it's raining at the park. It's not raining on the basketball court though. It's raining at the park. And when you look up, you can see the clouds moving towards you. So we hooping, we hear the rain, we go look and we see the rain. Now it's raining hard as hell though. So you can actually like see the rain falling down, but it looked like a wall of rain. So we like, oh shit, it's about to rain. Let's go ahead and let's leave out. So niggas is getting their shoes, they book bags, you know what I'm saying, they ball. We leaving out. The rain starts moving towards us. So like all people do, we just start running. Well, I figured out that day you can't outrun Mother Nature. The rain catches us. It goes past us. We are engulfed in hard rain. So we literally running up the street getting rained on. We all go to my house. I finally get to my house. It literally stops like right before my house. So we get there and the rain it's just raining right there in one area. So if you look at the street, half the street is dry, half the street is soaking wet.
yeah,
I've never experienced no shit like this before a day in my life. It freaked me out. So we sitting there looking like around the corner, like, yo, it's literally raining on one side of the street. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. We soaking wet though, because we done got caught in the rain. And then it stops. And it just goes over. I've never seen no shit like that before a day in my life, bro.
I've seen something similar to where it was raining on one side of the street and it wasn't on the other side.
Yeah,
I've seen that before.
that shit is crazy. It's crazy. So like in Ohio, bro, the weather is so unpredictable to where like some shit like that happen, it'd just be like, man, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's either gonna rain on you, it's gonna snow. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be too hot, it's gonna be too cold. We don't have them type of issues. We don't know what's going on. Like I know, I'm sure you've seen the videos. Dude be like, dressing up for Ohio weather, and then he got like a goose coat on with some shorts and some flip flops on one foot, a boot on the other foot. He got goggles on. Like it's everything, bro. We get all that, bro.
Yeah, like
Like
we got
the water drip on my forehead. You gonna have to waterboard me.
Yeah, we had the whole thing where it's like welcome to South Carolina, where the mornings is winter, the afternoon is fall,
Yeah,
and the evenings is summer. But
that's
that
crazy.
should be weird as fuck. It'll be, dude.
Yeah.
We could literally leave out in the morning. It could be 15 degrees. We could leave the house. It's 15 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
but by the time you get off from work, it's 65. It's like that's not normal, bro. Like, but
no, it's not normal at all. But I will take it.
But it's like, yo, this many degree split just in a few hours, like a work day.
Yeah,
yo, that's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Hey, man, I'd rather do that than it'd be 65 one day. Next thing you know, you got a whole fucking flurry of snow for the next 2 days, and then the next thing you know, after that it's 30 degrees, and then they go back down to -2 for 2 days, and then the next day is 15, and then it's gonna rain on Thursday because Thursday is 54. Bro, man, fuck that. I take the winter in the morning and the summer at night. At least I know it's gonna be hot at night. Nigga, in Ohio, you don't know what the fuck is going on. It could be raining in Cleveland right now. By the time it get to Dayton, it's snowing.
Hey,
like
boy.
shit is diabolical up here, bro.
It sounds like
This morning it was a couple of snowflakes falling.
Yeah, we had a few snowflakes. What's the day? Friday, Wednesday. We had a few Wednesday.
Yeah,
it didn't stick or nothing on Wednesday, but yeah, we had a few.
Everything's sticking down here, bro. You can't even drive in the certain nigga driveways, nigga. It's bad, bro. It's just when the snow hit in Ohio, bro, you just get the Arthur fist. It's over. So I'm for real, bro. Just fuck this shit, man. Let's go ahead and get into the fire flames, bro.
Let's do it, man.
Yoga fire, yoga flame.
All right, man. So what are you rating this season 1 and season 2 of the Lioness?
Okay. Oh, okay. We're gonna do both of them. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do a long spiel. Season 1, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. Season 2, I'm gonna give it a 5. Like, I thought that everything that I like to have, like, pretty much in a show, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We saw the adversity. We saw, you know what I'm saying? Really everything. Now I am with you with I want a little bit more of Caitlin's husband. But yeah, I got what I needed, man. And I'm looking forward to season 3. Nice. So yeah, that's what I got.
I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna go season 1. I'm gonna go 5, and I'm gonna go season 2 4.5. Only reason I go 4.5 for season 2 is 2 things. Like you said, I brought it up earlier. Is it?
Or is it Catherine? No.
Yeah, Catherine. Her husband was missing in this season, and also the situation between Cruz and Josephine. I didn't think it was necessary.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like for them two to kind of like fall in love and all that shit, and then it ended up being like they had to pretty much like be in love, and then they sent them on their way, and in the middle of being on their way, you know, Josephine get injured. It was a little too much for me personally. I felt like if they would have made them like best friends, that would have kind of been a little bit better. But to make them lovers, it's a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes the situation way heavier than it should be, to me at least. But yeah, I'm gonna go season 1, 5, because season 1 is one of those ones like, bro, you talking about a good first season of a show? That shit was exquisite, man. Season 2, it kind of lacked in a few areas, not many, but very small areas. So yeah, 5 and then 4.5.
Okay, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, man. Let's get into coming soon.
Let's do it.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
Okay, so we had a small talk real quick in pre-pro about what this next episode is going to be. So just to kind of keep you guys on, just to give some transparency, the next episode is going to be either one of two things. It's going to be either Den of Thieves 2. Boy, why is that hard to say? Or or we are going to give Zoe Saldana her flowers. And that is all just basically that's pretty much on just how we roll over the course of this weekend and up until the next episode. So just be prepared. Either way, you're going to get an episode no matter what, but it'll either be Den of Thieves 2 or it'll be an appreciation for Zoe Saldana. We just got to figure some things out pretty much at the end of the day. That's all it is. Nothing crazy. Listen, if you enjoyed this episode, if you didn't enjoy this episode, if you too were trying to figure out how the hell Cruz is smacking all these cheeks like this, hit us up. Let us know. On the socials, like we said before, or you can hit us up personally. You can find me on X at Scoots Bronson. I have a link tree in my bio, and you can follow me everywhere else there.
And y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Follow the podcast 28 minutes or less. Last episode is Mr. Brooks. Be on the lookout for a new episode coming to you very, very soon. And that's all I got.
Cool, man. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. As always, your support is greatly appreciated. There could be no us without you. And at the end of the day, man, as the great philosopher and rapper Glorilla said, the day is going to end. So until next time, like they said in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.